And Maura, I think you agreed. So we have tacos. We have taco squared today. I guess, Maura, that's the state of Washington.
Under President Trump, it tends to be. I think he does just say these things, and part of it has to do with the fact that he doesn't fully understand how Congress works. He has largely taken, and because Mike Johnson has given him the gavel in a lot of ways and in a lot of scenarios. But in this situation, John Thune has had to be the adult in the room and remind him how this works and how this is going to work. And so offering up, as he did this weekend, staying in, keeping the Senate in to work through this and come up with a plan to, what you said, what was offered early on, but now put DHS is ICE funding, attach it to SAVE Act in a reconciliation so that will be kind of kicked down the road a little bit here to get things open, because I am sure that senators, one, are hearing from constituents who from all sides of the aisle angry about what's going on and telling them to please fix this. But two, I think members really want to go home, and they are not interested in staying here for anyone over the Easter break that they're kind of looking forward to having going home to their district. So I think this is going to be the impetus to get things moving. And then reconciliation will be a whole nother battle to endure.
Well, just how quickly can that battle unfold, Maura? We're getting closer and closer to the midterm elections. We know reconciliation wasn't necessarily an easy lift last time around. Do you have real confidence that a second passage is going to be able to get through?
My concern is what else gets added to it. I think that there is because of where this will fall in the timeline, there will be a push to attach a lot of things to this to try and get it done before the midterms. But then it becomes a question about what is the midterm messaging. Again, some of these things on optics sound, okay, great. Voter ID sounds something that sounds common sense. Again, there's additives in the Save America Act that conflate, federal and executive overreach against the states. And so that is a conflicting message for Republicans who pride themselves on being for smaller government. There are also issues with the ICE funding. I think that they are currently still funded because of the tax cuts last year. But what happens when the reconciliation bill comes forward? Are those concessions that Jeannie mentioned going to come into play? Are the masks going to be taken off? Are the body cams? All of those things going to be part of it? And we'll have to see.
Maura, give me a sense of where this conversation is headed, because when you start talking about boots on the ground, it certainly changes the tenor on Capitol Hill. Attempts to invoke war powers have failed at every turn so far. What would that mean for Republicans and Democrats on the midterm campaign trail to have a say in that decision?
Well, it really puts Republicans in a position to either to defend the president's decision to do that and bypass Congress, their very role that they're potentially campaigning for themselves to position themselves in. And then it also creates a question of what's the why? You just pointed out, what is the plan and what's the why? Are we trying to take over Carg Island? Are we trying to just get ships through the Strait of Hormuz? What's the impetus? And making that case not only to Congress, but in effect to the American people is valid and important, and the president seems unwilling to do so. And I think there's going to be a push there. I would hope that Republicans would encourage the president to do so and to try and give the American people a concept of what's going to be, the next weeks ahead, and give us a better sense of stability of what to expect. And I don't think he has done that so far. I also don't know that he knows that right now as we sit here. J.D. Vance and Steve Witkoff are headed towards Pakistan. Reports say that they're going to continue these conversations, but hopefully we'll have a better sense than today when we hear from the president.